Hello! Hey everybody! All right, we are talking about how to invest in real estate long distance. So I talk a lot about how to find a honey hole. And a honey hole is where you're going to go to find the money, honey. But a lot of people live in areas of the country where the market is just, smoking hot. And a lot of people live even in cities where there's hot pockets. And maybe your primary house is in one of those hot pockets. So this is going to work whether you're in San Francisco and you can't buy a bathroom. And so you're looking to buy stuff in Colorado or Ohio or Mississippi and have it long distance like that. Or whether you live in parts of Nashville and you're thinking about just driving a couple hours twice a week to go find your honey hole somewhere in the suburbs. So this is going to work. The tips that I'm going to give you in this video is going to work if you're investing like an airplane ride away long distance, or if you're packing a lunch and going to drive long distance. Just so you know though, my honey hole is right around where I used to work. I used to have a job. Every day I went to an office. I worked for my mom. She's got a trucking company. I was a trucker and I went to work for her, and I drove 30 minutes away from my house, which was her house. I rent my mom's house. I would drive 30 minutes out to the country to go to work every day. So I created my honey hole 30 minutes away from where I lived. I got lucky. Some people would have to drive 2 hours to go find a honey hole. Some people couldn't drive for 2 days and find a honey hole, so they opt to do long distance real estate investing. My honey hole is relatively close to where I live. 30 minutes drive is what I was doing every day, twice a day anyway, so I wouldn't consider that long distance. However, I do have some experience in a long distance relationship, which turned into long distance real estate investing. My husband and I have been together for 6 years. He has always lived in the greater Atlanta area. I have always lived in the greater Knoxville area. We got married in 2015, and we were married long distance for a year before I decided it was time to move in together. Come on. We've been married for a year. I guess we should sleep together every night. Crazy, huh? So, I was renting one of my mom's houses, and I decided to sublet my house here in Knoxville that I was renting from my mom, and basically move in with my husband in Georgia. So, we did that for like a year. I kept all of my houses here. People ask me, so if you're going to go to Georgia and stay there most of the time, are you going to sell your houses up here? I was like, how would I make any money if I sold my houses? I've been buying all these houses so that I could live wherever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to, and still make that money, honey. So I stayed in Georgia. I never changed my license. I never changed my citizenship. I'm basically just a squatter in Georgia. But I learned how to invest from 3 hours away, which is a different skill set than it takes to invest 30 minutes away. So let's talk about some of the tips and tricks that I found that I rely on super duper heavily to keep my investments afloat, even though I'm not right here down the street from them every single day. The first thing you got to do is get those payments automatic. A lot of investors are still going out and collecting checks, collecting late fees, looking at properties, fixing the properties. They're double checking every single thing, and you gotta quit that if you're ever gonna invest long distance. If you're gonna invest long distance, you need to train your tenants, train your tenant buyers, you need to train your vendors, you need to train your a handy guy that they're not going to get paid as soon as this job is done. You're going to mail a check. You need to train your tenants to put that money in your bank account or however it is that you collect the rent. And if it's not there by 5 on the 5th, it's late. And this is just a logistical thing, guys. If you live far away, you need to have a system in place to make sure that your money is coming in every month so that you're paying the mortgage or you're paying the insurance or you're paying the taxes or you're paying to get the kitchen sink unclogged. You got to make sure that money is coming in without you going out to get it. I have a lady. The second tip is to spend some time in the market you want to invest in. And go spend some time in your honey hole. If you are going to be investing and it takes an airplane ride to get there or 4 days in the car, I would highly recommend for the next 6 months, you allocate 1 weekend a month to go stay in your honey hole. Rent a room at a hotel. Better yet, rent a vacation rental, a short-term rental. Stay in somebody's house, talk to them, find out what's going on in the area, where are people wanting to live, where are people wanting to move, where's the schools, where are the jobs, where are the things going on. It's amazing when you go to a place, rent a car, stay there, commit to being there for 72 hours, 48 if you're under a time crunch. But for 72 hours, that's 3 nights. So you stay Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. You'll find places to go eat. You'll find people that can help you. You will find people that are looking to get rid of houses. You will also find people that are looking to buy houses or rent houses. All right? Actually going and being in your honey hole once a month for 6 months will change everything. It'll change your entire life. And yes, I understand that's going to be some expense up front. But if you're going to be investing in houses, you need to expect to spend some money up front, especially if you're not investing down the street. All right? That's how it works. So I have a lady that lives in Los Angeles, and she buys properties in Las Vegas. She buys properties in Colorado, and she buys properties in Mississippi. She has 2 kids under the age of 4. This is a very busy lady, all right? And she carves out time because it's important for her to be a real estate investor, a successful real estate investor. She carves out time, I almost knocked down the closet there. She carves out time to go stay in each one of her honey holes in a rotation. So she'll go to Las Vegas for the weekend. She'll go check on her properties. She'll go look at new properties to buy. She'll go talk to local people that are working around there who are looking to buy. She'll go to Colorado. She'll put up bandit signs. She'll talk to a whole lot of people who are interested in doing a rent-to-own house. She'll find out where they want her to buy her next house. She'll have appointments set up with sellers, and a lot of times her sellers also don't live in this area, so they're flying in to meet her. She's flying in to meet them. They're flying in to meet her. Perfect situation. She has apartment complexes in Mississippi. She goes to Mississippi to check on her properties. While she's there, before she goes, she sends out a yellow letter campaign that says, I'm going to be in, Jackson, Mississippi in April. I'd like to buy another house while I'm there. Do you have one you want to get rid of? So she has appointments booked up. She's already screened sellers. She already knows where people want to go. She's already done all the research that she can do online. And I have another video coming up shortly with my apps and softwares and things that'll help you do this research online. It's coming up in the next video. But she'll do everything she can online from Los Angeles so that when she gets to Mississippi, when she gets to Colorado, when she gets to Las Vegas, she can actually do the hands-on stuff. And that lady goes through those 3 cities like a tornado. She's there for 48 to 72 hours, and you would have thought she'd been there for a month with the amount of things that she's able to get accomplished. That's what you got to do if you're going to invest long distance. All right, so you got to train your tenants, train your vendors, train your people on the ground. That's what I had to do because I had a honey hole and I left it. Or you've got to locate a honey hole wherever it is, and you've got to go spend time there. You go spend time there, you let people see that you're a person, and then you train them so that if you're not there, they don't expect you to be there. You let them know that you live in LA and you're investing over here because you can't buy anything over there, but you can buy stuff here. They just want to see you once or twice. Know you're a real person. I have some vendors I've never met. I have some tenants I've never met. Because you don't need to be live and in person to do these deals. Okay? It helps. Sometimes. It hurts. Sometimes. I literally, yesterday, met a tenant that's been living in one of my houses. And this is a regular rental that I have because I want to do a 1031 exchange on 2 houses that I've purposely pegged for a 1031 exchange. So I have a regular renter in a house. I met him for the first time yesterday. He's lived in that house since December of 2015. This is June of 2018. So that's 2.5 years. This dude has been sending me $750 a month. And I've never met him. 2.5 years he's been living in my house. We've texted for 2.5 years. I've never met the dude. Until yesterday, I shook his hand. I gave him a blank check yesterday to give to the plumber to fix his kitchen sink. The first time I met this dude, I gave him a blank check made out to the plumber so he could get his kitchen sink fixed. Shook his hand. Here's a check. The plumber's on his way. I gotta go. And that was just because I ended up being in town. But that just goes to prove you gotta train your people to pay every month. And then this is a new vendor that I got to train to know I'm not going to pay him 30 seconds after the job's done. I'm going to send a check. But I happened to be here, so we rolled with it. Okay? Also, this guy's needed his sink fixed since like last Wednesday, and I felt kind of bad for it taking almost a week to get his sink fixed. Whoopsie. So, that's one of the glorious things about doing lease options. I'm only fixing his kitchen sink because he's a regular renter. If he was one of my lease option tenant buyers, I'd tell him to call the plumber and pay for it. Not my problem. Anyway, back to long distance investing. The third thing that you want to do when you're investing out of your city, out of where you live or out of your state, you want to find an accountant and an attorney that understands your investing out of state. Every state has laws and regulations about how evictions work. Every state and city has laws and regulations about charging late fees. Every state has different things that they have going on, and you have to follow those rules. Now, if you're investing in 3 different places, it drives me crazy to invest in 3 different counties because the laws and things are different. I depend on my attorneys in each county to make sure I'm following the law for that county. I'm not trying to get in any trouble here. That's why I love my attorney. I run every single deal through my attorney's office so that he can triple check me to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't want to be in trouble. I don't like being in trouble. I don't want you to be in trouble. So get an attorney. Also, get an accountant that understands the different tax laws, because federal taxes are pretty much the same no matter where you live, but state to state, those income taxes can gobble up your income. So make sure when you're renting houses, make sure when you're collecting rent on those houses, make sure when you're fixing things that an attorney and an accountant are looking over your shoulder to make sure your long-term goals and your short-term goals are going to be met within the laws and within the tax obligations that you're going to have for doing these deals. And frankly, guys, Somebody asked me something about paying taxes earlier. You got to pay your taxes. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. You got to pay those taxes. You got to pay property taxes. You got to pay income taxes. You got to pay capital gains. You got to pay it all. But depending on how you have yourself, your LLC, your corporation set up, there may be different tax strategies, and you need an accountant to look at that. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney. I don't give accounting advice, tax advice, or legal advice. I just really encourage you to find somebody on your team who's going to understand that you live here and you invest here, you're making money here, but you live here and somewhere here, there's going to be a crossover. So triple check yourself. Make sure you have a strong attorney on your team in the town where you're wanting to invest and rent these houses, and make sure you have an accountant who understands the intricacies of investing somewhere besides where you live. I have a house in Georgia that I rent. I have a local attorney in Georgia. My accountant has experience with people who live in Tennessee and have properties in Georgia. Now, when I start living or buying houses in Florida, I'm probably going to need to bring in another bookkeeper or accountant, because now my residence is Tennessee. I have houses in Georgia and houses in Florida. Things are going to get really complicated really quickly. That's not for me to figure out. That's for me to hire somebody to figure out. My job is to get the deals done. My job is to talk to the sellers. My job is to keep the houses full. It's somebody else's job to make sure everything's floating around where it should be. Get some good, strong people on your team. Don't try to do every little bit of this yourself. Find out what you're good at. Find out how you can talk to sellers on the phone. Find out what apps you need to do the research on these houses before you go and see them. I got another video coming up on apps and technology to use to really help you pre-screen these deals before you waste an airplane ticket on a dud. That's coming up next. Be sure you check it out. So remember, this is what you need if you're going to be investing long distance. You got to train your tenants and train your vendors on how you're going to get them paid. Whether you're going to be paying them via check in the mail, whether you're going to send them a bill pay, whether you're going to PayPal them, whatever that is. You also have to train your tenants on how you expect to be paid. Straight into your bank account or straight into your third-party software system that collects the rent every month, or straight into the escrow account, or however it is that you want. You need to train them from the beginning and let them know that you are not at their beck and call. If they need something fixed, they need to email you, because you don't text. I don't suggest texting for repairs, because that means only one person in your company can respond to that. Once you get big and you've got, lots of people want to do lots of different things, you're probably going to delegate those repairs out to somebody. It needs to already be trained to come into one central location so that you can get it on out to where it needs to go. Email, okay? The second thing you want to do is, if you're investing out of your area and you found a honey hole where you can get deals done and it's just not close to where you live all the time, cool. Totally cool. Go spend some time there. Go learn the little nooks and crannies of this place. Go meet the people. It'll pay off in huge returns. And then the third thing that you want to do is get a local accountant, a local attorney who's going to understand your goals, your desires, and help you mesh those with local county laws, taxes, and ordinances. I have another video coming up on the apps, the software, the things that you can find online that'll make your life so much easier when you're investing long distance. If you're interested on how to get these deals done, I teach women strategies to buy one house a month without using their money, without using their credit, without using their banking connections, and without a license. The program is called First Deal Done Fast. First Deal Done Fast. If you go to whitneynicely.com/go, or you could go to firstdealdonefast.com to check out all the details. I'll send you blank copies of contracts that you can use to get started. I'll send you seller lead sheets so that when you're on the phone with these sellers, you know what to say to them in the right order to find out if they're motivated or not. I'll send you a workbook to go along with all the videos because, believe it or not, I have some videos that aren't on this YouTube channel. And those videos are pure strategy. So you can get these deals done fast. I'll also send you a couple books that I wrote on how to get real estate deals done. And I will be with you to answer your questions every single week. Then once a month, you send me your seller lead sheets and I will help you make 3 offers on every single house that you want to go look at. All of that's included in First Deal Done Fast. Go to firstdealdonefast.com, check it out, and if you have any comments, drop them here. If I said anything that confused you, leave me a comment down below. I love talking to you guys in the comments, and I would love to help you get your first deal done fast. Let me know, and I hope to see you inside First Deal Done Fast. Bye, y'all.